Hey everyone, Colby here. Today we're going to be going over another spider video. Of course, guys, you know I've covered the spider dungeon so many times before, but guys, in this video series we'll be covering the spider and spider 20 dungeon specifically because everybody wants to be farming that as efficiently as possible. So guys, spider 20 is so important because of those 5 and 6 star rings, amulets and banners, but also just because it gives you a ton of silver. So if you want to be farming for silver, spider 20 is great, and the faster you farm it, the better it is for you. So in this first part of the video series, I will cover all champions that have an HP burn AoE debuff, and that's going to help you take down the spider that much faster, and it's a guaranteed way for you to take down the spider if you're having difficulties in going through those spider missions. So guys, there's not many champions in the game right now that have an HP burn debuff. One of them is Venus, and I do have her. She has it at her A3 at a 4 turns cooldown and has a 75% chance to apply it. Fantastic. 80% chance when she has the specific mastery. So a fantastic way for you to take down the spider. I can show you very quickly how this works and how the HP burn debuff works. How the HP burn debuff works, guys, is it basically does HP related damage on the boss, HP percent related damage on the boss. So here I have my Venus, I have my miscreated monster. I can even place another target in there. I can probably go with this team and still beat it, but I'm gonna make it a bit quick for you guys. I'm gonna put in a cold heart there for the additional turn meter reduction, just so you guys understand how strong this is. So I'm gonna make it 1x. You're gonna see Venus go in with her A2. That's how the AI works. But once the HP burn is applied by Venus, you guys will understand how strong it is in terms of taking down the big spiders. So the spiderlings do what the spiderlings do. Let me put it 2x. I'm gonna apply the HP burn now. Many of the spiderlings will die because of how strong my champions are, but you're gonna start seeing the damage of HP burn on every single one of the targets, and of course the big spider as well. Look at all that, too much damage actually in there. Let's go with A3. Big spider doesn't take a turn, but look, every time the spiderlings take a turn, they will actually be taking damage, and the big spider will take damage as well, and every single one of their allies. So whenever a target takes a turn, he will actually damage his allies as well. That's why it's so great for the big spider. There's so many targets out there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 spiderlings. If they all have an HP burn, that's so much damage dealt on the big spider whenever each one of them takes a turn. And of course, a very good way to actually go as a setup with this would be not to actually kill the spiderlings. So Miscreant Monster might not be a very good choice in this kind of setup because he will be actually killing the spiderlings with his A2, and Venus will be just applying that AoE defense down and weaken and causing Miscreant Monster to actually even do way more damage. So this is why a cold heart in there will be additionally great, but HP burn just by itself is just another great way for you to take down the spider. If you have a different way to tank the spider, maybe a force affinity target will actually make it also very easy for you to go through the spider. So this is how HP burn works. I'm gonna go through all the other champions that have an HP burn skill. So there's not many. There's Venus. Then we go down to the demon spawn. There's Tyrant Exlemore. So he attacks all enemies. 75% chance of placing the HP burn debuff on all enemies for 3 turns. That is great. He also decreases damage inflicted by enemies under HP burn debuffs by 10%. That's also great. So he has a combination of skills. Another great champion that has an HP burn is Drexstar Blood Twin. Guys, he does not apply it in terms of an AoE skills. He has a provoke on his A2, and his A1 just does an HP burn on a single target, but his Fury Blood passive has a 55% chance of placing HP burn debuff when hit. So whenever the spiderlings are hitting Drexstar, he'll be applying the HP burn debuff on them. So he'll be spreading it out whenever he gets hit at a 75% chance, which is fantastic. That can go to 80% chance with the right masteries, and in combination with his other kit, he is just great for spider 20. Another champion that has an HP burn and an AoE is Trunda. I do not have Trunda to showcase her, guys, but her A3 basically attacks all enemies, 70% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn, already great for the Spider 20. Place an HP burn debuff for 2 turns on enemies under stun debuff. Place an extra hit on enemies not under stun debuffs. This is so good, guys, because if you manage to stun the enemies, she'll be applying the HP burn debuff on them, and HP burn, as you guys seen, does a great deal of damage on the spiderlings and also the big spider. Got 2 more champions actually that can do this. Next one is gonna be, no, it's Ignatius. Yeah, it's Ignatius, attacks 1 enemy, has a 15% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. We're gonna have his A3, attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. He is just fantastic. Just because of this, you don't need any accuracy on him. It has a 5-turn cooldown, but still at a very good chance to apply even without any bugs. Fully booked, a 5 turns cooldown, 100% chance. Just fantastic. Will make beating the spider a breeze, because HP burns will just be taking down the spiderlings and the big spider all together. So finally, we're gonna have the single epic champion in the game. Very recent release actually through Amazon Prime. So Ultimate Galek has an A3 that applies the HP burn at a 50% chance, 55 with masteries. So fantastic way for you to take down the spider using Ultimate Galek. So you'll also need to apply an increased attack buff first on Ultimate Galek, and I'm gonna show you a way to do this right now, and a way to beat the spider using Ultimate Galek and another champion out there that's might be also accessible to everyone else, and that's gonna be Gorgrab. So guys, Spider 20, as I explained, Ultimate Galek is the only epic that has an HP burn debuff. I'm gonna show you a way that you can go through Spider 20 and all previous levels of the spider with just Ultimate Galek. Of course, the force levels will be much harder than stage 20. Since stage 20, he will be strong affinity. Each and every one of these is strong affinity here, so the spiderlings will be targeting the weaker target. The weaker target here will be Ultimate Galek, but we've got a revive, and we also have a Miscreated Monster who's built right for this situation. So Miscreated Monster will be helping the team with the shields. So it's going to be a 4-man team, not a 5-man team. I don't want to put anyone else in there. Just I want to showcase the power of the HP burn, but it's going to take a while. So look at that shield protecting everyone. Look at the HP burn, guys, right now. So the spiders took a turn, and then look at the health of the big spider. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 HP burns currently on the small spiderlings. This is gonna be a great way of us to do way more damage than usual. So 2, 4, 6, no, actually it's 7 debuffs and 1 on the big spider. So when the big spider takes a turn as well, we'll also be damaging everyone else. The thing here that's very important, guys, is to realize that my Ultimate Galek is at level 50 and he has no masteries. So he's even weaker than you can get him. You can get him to level 60, full masteries and proper gear, and that's going to be even better for you to beat the spider. So you're going to look how much damage those HP burns will be doing in this kind of version of a team without, you know, a Cold Heart in there, without a Venus who also does way more stuff like a decreased defense, a weaken. So all that additional damage will not be there. So already, because the big spider heals, this will take longer than expected. So I'll just let this go for a bit for you guys to see, and then I'm just gonna skip right before to the end, because this will be how this team works. It's not a fast team, but it's a more slow team, but a guaranteed win, just because of Miscreated Monster protecting and the HP burns slowly taking down the big spider's health. So we're at a good point here, so I'm gonna skip the video right into the end so you guys can see how long it takes us to beat the big spider. So guys, the big spider is almost down, and as you can see, it took us about 4 minutes and we managed to beat it. So imagine if you had level 60 champions in there with War Master or Giant Slayer and another champion in there, so 5 champions overall, you would be able to beat the big spider with this kind of setup. Also, this works without Miscreated Monster, but you need a target who can be the tank instead of your Ultimate Galek, and preferably Ultimate Galek wouldn't be level 50. So a great way to have a tank there would be a Force champion for Spider 20, and many Force champions out there can work as a tank. So guys, before we close off the video on the first Spider 20 series in killing the spider with HP burn, I want to note of Vizier. Vizier has a great skill which is called Vizier of Poisons. Applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. So if you have a champion that can apply an HP burn on a main target being the big spider, and then Vizier goes in right after and uses his A3, then he can actually spread that HP burn on every single one of the spiderlings. Of course, this requires more setup because Vizier needs, you know, the proper speeds, and you also need to have Vizier, so you need very good legendaries instead of having a champion like you know, Ultimate Galek. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. If you watched it this far, subscribe if you haven't already to watch the other videos and killing the spider that will be coming in this series. I'll be releasing them maybe weekly or more frequently depending on demand. Of course, leave it down in the comments if you have any unique ways of killing the spider that I might not know of, so leave them down in the comments for sure, and I'll check them out. Guys, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a like always to support the channel and get that YouTube algorithm to be boosting us right to the top of the raid YouTube. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.